listen to this.
Greetings to everyone. Today, we are here to nourish the wisdom of our mind, so that we may come to realize that our mind is the life element, formless and shapeless. It is a clear, pure element, the original source of all things. This primordial essence exists timelessly. It does not move, it neither comes nor goes. It has never been born and never perishes. It is truly the immortal element, and we are that very element of original nature. This essence is beyond time and dimension. It is the zero element, the origin of all dimensions. It existed long before any universe or star ever appeared in this vast emptiness. All of us are this pure original element, but we cannot perceive it as such, for it is entirely free from fabrication. Its function is simply to know, naturally and effortlessly. This primal function allows for the recognition of appearances. Whenever something comes into contact with the mind's nature is to perceive it. It ripples with awareness. It is like clear water. When something touches its surface, the water instinctively recognizes the contact, producing ripples in response. That ripple is the beginning of all formations, of all mental fabrications. When the mind encounters sense objects through the faculties of eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, or even internal experiences, such as the voice in the mind, mental imagery, arising emotions, memories, understanding, or doubt, each of these causes a ripple within. The mind, in its knowing nature, receives them all. But we, as mind, have come to depend on these tools to fabricate experiences and pursue learning. We learn everything from the outside world, yet never return to realize our original nature. In a way, we've never truly come home. We have left home to depend on countless tools in our search for stability and permanence. And yet, after using all these tools, we have never found true and lasting security. What I am offering today is a path back home, so that we may return and know the mind as it truly is. In knowing the mind, we come to see that we are the formless life element, spacious, luminous, profoundly pure. Within this, there is no suffering. This is true and lasting stability. But we have not yet reversed course to return home. We remain entangled in borrowed tools, and so we have not realized that we are the life element itself. Let me explain this in 3 stages. The first stage is our original nature, this formless life element. This is our true purity, our genuine self. Yet this true self has no form, no sound, no language. It is silent, pure, and unblemished. It has no voice, no image, no emotion, no knowing, no memory, no movement, no fabrication, not even a trace of vibration. To grasp this clearly, imagine erasing the entire universe, every star, every sun, every black hole, every speck of dust, even darkness and light. Erase it all. What remains is the original element, a vast clarity, profoundly pure, beyond darkness and light. That is what we are, this pure, luminous essence. Let us imagine a certain element, something clear and luminous. Suppose we visualize this clarity in front of us, like a large, transparent sphere. It is so clear that even darkness can pass through it. Yet, this clarity is not darkness. Do you understand? It is the elemental source. It allows darkness to pass through and even to cover its nature, but it remains entirely untouched. They are of completely different realms. Darkness is simply a wave of energy, a radiation of obscurity. As this darkness gradually fades, light begins to appear. Can you see it? The brightness slowly emerges, little by little, within this empty clarity. The life element, this transparent element, is neither dark nor bright. It is the foundation upon which both darkness and light dwell. If one can understand this, then they are nearing the end of suffering. As light begins to absorb and dissolve the darkness, all darkness vanishes, and what remains is pure brightness. But this light is still just an energy wave, vibrating with a frequency that generates the appearance of illumination. All of these, darkness and light, exist within the transparent emptiness of the original element. This clarity itself is not light, but light merely dwells within it. Without this spacious clarity, neither darkness nor light would have any place to reside. Do you see? All things arise, abide, and dissolve within this pure emptiness, the elemental origin. This is what our mind is like. Our mind has never truly been anything. It has never been entangled in any of it. It simply seeks one thing, the wisdom to realize that it is, in essence, this pure and luminous element. The mind, or the life element as the primordial source, wants only to recognize that it is this very element. We are the mind, and we are this essence. Now, let me speak about our sense of self. At the deepest level, level 1, this is our truest identity. Yet we are unaware that we are this pure clarity. Even now, we believe we are human, and we believe that this voice has a self, and that it belongs to us. We do not know our mind. We do not realize that we are the formless life element, vast, clear, and utterly pure. We simply do not know. But that's all right. Let me continue explaining. This level, level 1, is the deepest layer of our being. It is the true homecoming, where we finally encounter our true element, the genuine life essence that we are. Now, the second layer is the layer of fabrication. This is the level of tools, the instruments of the mind. Our mind relies on this second layer to ripple, to fabricate, and to learn from all things. This second layer works together with the third layer, which is the layer of the body. That layer is the container, while the second layer is the instrument. Do you understand? The third layer is the robotic container. Our mind must rely on both this instrument and this physical mass. Let's call it the robotic vessel. This robot-like body can function on its own, so long as the life element resides within it. The moment the life element enters, the robot begins to function. Now picture this. If someone with immense power were to pull the mind out of the body right now, this robotic body would collapse instantly and begin to decay. The vessel we live in, if the mind is removed from it, would stop working immediately. The heart would stop beating. The brain could no longer think. The ears would no longer hear. Even if you burned it with fire, it would feel nothing. Do you understand this point? Who among us can notice that what is hearing right now hears by itself? If the mind is removed from the body, do you think this body can hear? It would collapse and begin to decay, just as I mentioned. It would have ears but no hearing, a nose but no sense of smell, a tongue but no taste, a body but no sense of touch, eyes but no sight, a brain that cannot think, a heart that does not beat. This body would slowly decompose, becoming food for animals, for worms, and the like. Can anyone understand that this robotic vessel has life only because the mind and life element dwell within it? If not, that's okay. But if someone does understand this, then keep contemplating it until the realization arises, I am not this body. And with that, all attachment to the body dissolves. It's as if the lifelong clinging to the body suddenly collapses from the heart. That's exactly what happens. When this is deeply understood, tears may arise. The knowledge we once held, the attachment to what we thought we knew, collapses from the heart. It's like this. We believed we had a family, a home, a car, everything, right? We were someone's child. We had an identity, a warm life, a complete story. But suddenly, an electric shock hits. Zap! and all the knowledge we had about being human shatters in an instant. When we regain consciousness, we don't remember anything. We don't even know how we came to be in this body. We don't know what we want. If this body were to die, we wouldn't know where we would go. Who are we really? What are we? And what is all this that we see? What is this voice that's speaking? This is only a metaphor. But if the realization truly dawns within the mind, it's not like that. A deep knowing arises, one that understands all things, yet no one is there to know. That is the truth. That is the awakened original element. When our mind awakens, we will awaken from all delusions. We will come to understand everything in this world of appearances. We will realize, it's all a constructed world. It isn't real. It's all convention, all fabrication. Truth is the knowing that exists without language, knowing everything, yet with no knower. That is the truth. And this kind of truth is what most humans cannot accept. Try to understand this. I'll continue explaining. Let's lay out the layers again. Layer 1 is the mind itself, the space-like pure life element within us. We are the original element, the source, the life element. Understand? But this element is so pure that nothing resides within it, not even movement. Because it doesn't move, it cannot know itself. It must rely on tools, on perception and subtle vibration to begin to understand. That's the key. It's incredibly subtle, almost imperceptible. If we were to use a metaphor, the difference between full realization and complete delusion is just a hair's breadth. Right now, we rely on the tools of fabrication. And what are those fabrications made of? One of them is this voice speaking right now. This is part of the fabrication. We use voice to communicate and understand. Without speech, we wouldn't be able to express anything at all, right? But who among us realizes that this voice is not really us? This is the point where people begin to resist. It's hard to accept. But whoever can understand this, you're already on the path to liberation. Understand? This voice that speaks isn't owned by anyone. It doesn't belong to any self. Even this voice that's coming out now is still coarse. It's not yet refined. If you go inward, you'll notice the voice that speaks inside. Have you ever noticed that voice that talks in your head? The one that constantly thinks? We rely on this inner voice all the time. Have you ever observed it? Like, what should I eat today? Pizza? Or maybe spaghetti? Have you seen it think like this? It goes on and on. Sometimes it says, what time is it? I need to pick up the laundry. Why hasn't the dry cleaner brought the clothes yet? What time is it? Has my kid finished school? Why hasn't the kid come home yet? Why hasn't my partner arrived yet? Have you seen how this inner voice thinks like this? Do you think like this too? I really don't like that woman. I hate seeing her face. I can't stand her. What should I do about it? Should I deal with her? Have you ever thought like that? And what about, when my partner gets back, I'm going to deal with them. Look at this mess they've left. I just cleaned the place, and now it's ruined again. How many times have I told them? Or, tonight we're going to have it out. I'm done. I'm fed up. Have you ever thought like that? Have you seen that voice that keeps speaking inside your mind? We rely on the voice that thinks constantly, but I'm telling you, that voice is merely a tool we depend on. The we here refers to the life element, the pure mind at the deepest layer. Layer 2 is the realm of thoughts and mental formations. It's the level of fabrication, the instrument of the mind we've been using all along. Never forget, we are the formless life element, spacious, unfabricated, crystal clear, and purely refined. We are the original essence. The voice is like a wave of energy that arises within this vast clarity. Just as air exists in the empty, transparent space in front of us, so too does sound arise within the spaciousness of our being. This clear space, though it is right before us, cannot be grasped by the hand. Yet it is within this empty clarity that all air dwells: oxygen, carbon dioxide, clean air, polluted air, cool air, hot air. All these opposites live within this clarity. Air moves and shifts, but the empty clarity itself never moves and never changes. It remains untouched and uninvolved with the air that moves through it. Do you understand? Electric waves, magnetic fields, they all pass through this clear space. Microwave signals, phone signals, telegraph waves, satellite transmissions, they constantly pass through it. And yet, this spacious clarity knows nothing of them and is unaffected by any of them. All forms of energy pass through this transparent space. Darkness and light also move through it, but this space itself never stirs. I'm pointing this out to help you see that all these energetic waves are unstable and ever-changing. They shift according to natural laws, but the true nature, the one that never shifts or moves, is the formless, pure, spacious life element within us. It is one and the same with this infinite clarity, merging with the entire cosmos. We are this immortal essence. Right now, we don't even know how we came to be in this vessel. We don't know what we truly are. If this body, the robotic container, were to die right now, do you know what would remain? There is a nature that has never died and never been born. That is the mind. This body, we've changed it many times before. We've shifted from one robotic vessel to another. We've taken on every form imaginable in this world and in the cosmos. Since the first star arose in the vast emptiness, before even the universe itself, the first star came into being from the Big Bang. Then matter began to gather and form into stars. Slowly, they cooled and suns were born. When the right conditions arose, our mind took residence in various forms that came together through this cosmic unfolding. All of our minds have emerged from the very substance of the original element. Our minds, let me explain more clearly, so we can all understand our true origin. I'll use a metaphor. Imagine the water of the vast ocean. At a certain point, an eruption occurs. Boom, and a tiny droplet of water is cast out. That tiny droplet flies off and takes residence in various material elements. Once the life element resides within those physical particles, they come to life. Think of the ocean as representing the pure emptiness that existed before anything came to be. That clear, luminous emptiness was already there, long before the universe existed. There was only that pure, transparent emptiness. Just like the Big Bang, which burst forth from this vast clarity, pure space exploding outward, sending waves of energy shooting out from the core essence. This burst of energy began to condense into tiny particles. These particles formed with protons, electrons, and neutrons spinning around their centers. And at the core of those particles was already the clear, pure, spacious element. These particles began to bind together. Electrons exchanged between atoms, protons and neutrons drew each other in, forming clusters, attracting more and more, until dust particles appeared. The dust gathered and clumped into stars, suns, and countless celestial bodies. This was the beginning of matter. Our mind, then, began to inhabit these tiny particles. From there arose the first single-celled organisms, then 2 cells, then 3, then 4. They consumed one another, fought one another, killed one another. loved and hated. This cycle began back then. That's how long ago we started. So incredibly long ago. I say this just to give a sense of time. So very long ago, since the very first star, we have been inhabiting forms since then. Like a droplet flung from the ocean, we latched onto physical matter. Those physical elements evolved into single-celled organisms, then doubled, multiplied into multicellular life, eventually becoming the human body, composed of millions of cells clustered and bound together. Understand? And within this very body of ours, there are countless living beings, bacteria, microbes, all coexisting within this mass of material elements we call the body. The life element, our very essence, has come to dwell within this vessel. Imagine this. A single drop of water enters a particle of matter. That particle then becomes alive. Now, if this body were to break apart, and the life element within us were to realize the wisdom of true understanding, were to awaken and know itself as the pure element, then it would be like that drop of water being released from this body, from this vessel, from this robotic container. The clear droplet, representing the life element, would be flung free, returning to the ocean. Picture it. If this single drop of water, which we call the life element, our very mind, were placed back into the ocean, what would happen? It would merge completely with the whole, right? All the countless droplets that were scattered, all of them are our minds. Every living being, human and animal, is alive because each one has a mind and has a life element residing within. Now, if life is like a droplet and we return it to the ocean, plop, it becomes one with the sea. Where is the you now? You can't find that original droplet again. It has merged into the whole. But you know, you are one with the ocean. You know you are inseparable from the whole. Yet if someone asks, where exactly are you in that ocean? You can't point to it anymore, because you are all of it. You are the entire ocean. But we've come to believe that this robotic vessel we're living in is who we are. This is the coarsest layer, layer 3. Layer 1 is the realm of the mind, the formless, spacious, luminous life element. That's who we truly are. Layer 2 is the realm of instruments, like the voice in our head. We think and think. Even now, from the beginning of this talk until now, you can see I've just been speaking thoughts the entire time. We rely on this process constantly. But can you see that the thinking, that voice, it's not actually you. It operates on its own. It understands this language on its own. We aren't the ones doing it. Remember this. Our life element possesses these tools and they function automatically. Because the basis is that there is life, these tools work on their own. They are automatic. We can call this part the thinking agent. The thinking agent is a tool, a servant of sorts. Its job is simply to think. We must come to see this clearly, that it thinks on its own. The moment we can see this, we're on the verge of not being born again. The image officer, this one creates mental imagery. It's another servant of ours. The second servant's job is purely to create images. But remember, we are the origin. We are the source of all these functions. We are the true owner of the house. Let us return home. If we truly return home, we will understand. What I'm giving you here is just a metaphor, a way to help you grasp it. But if we actually reach that place, there will be nothing left to say. All we can do is weep, truly weep, because in that place, nothing can be spoken. There is no language. It is utterly pure, so refined, that only purity remains. And in that purity, there is no suffering. We are mind, consciousness itself. Our mind has a thinking agent. Its sole function is to think. It produces the voice that speaks in the mind, constantly. And we tend to cling to this one the most. It's the most troublesome of all. The second servant, the second function, is imagination. Its sole role is to generate mental images. Understand? It's a servant too. One function is the inner voice. The second servant is mental imagery. It serves only to visualize. It's another tool we've created. The third servant is yet another mischievous one, the emotion generator. This one is responsible for producing feelings and moods. It depends on the first two, thought and imagery. If the thoughts and images match our preferences, this emotional servant immediately creates pleasure or satisfaction. But if things don't go the way we think or imagine, it instantly generates displeasure, dissatisfaction, or suffering. If our thinking and imagining are neutral or balanced, this servant produces a neutral emotional state. Sometimes it presents itself as calmness. But no matter how peaceful that emotion may seem, it is still only the function of the emotional servant. Whether it's happiness or sorrow, satisfaction or dissatisfaction, anger, hatred, resentment, or vengefulness, these are all just emotions. They are all the workings of this third servant. Let's divide it into two sides, pleasant emotions and unpleasant emotions. You could call it satisfaction and dissatisfaction, or neutral states, or even deeply calm states. But all of these still belong to the emotional officer. They are all just servants of ours. Please understand this clearly. It's that simple. The thinking officer, the imagining officer, and the emotional officer, all of them serve very precise functions. Got that? Now the next one, officer number 4, is the memory officer. This one's job is to store and recall whatever was thought, imagined, or emotionally experienced. It records everything, even sensory perceptions. This officer helps create memories of them. It remembers everything. Officer number 5 is the perceiving officer. This one has been with the mind for a very, very long time, a true companion. It's the one that constantly attends to the mind in all things. This perception officer is responsible for awareness of sound, images, emotions, memories, and external stimuli, the sights we see, the sounds we hear, the scents we smell, the tastes we sense, the touch of heat or cold. It perceives all of it. Got that? This is the fabrication team, the mind's tools. This is layer 2. We are the mind, the deepest layer. The team in layer 2 is made up of the tools of the mind. Now you might ask, why does the mind need to create all these tools? Why? So that it can fabricate and learn, and ultimately realize that it is the pure, luminous life element. It is the mind. The nature of this formless, original element is that it cannot understand itself without tools. This kind of knowledge no one ever taught us. Our parents didn't teach us about the mind. At school, no one taught us about the mind. We've lived through adulthood, worked, lived our lives, and still, no one has clearly explained the mind to us. That's why we don't understand it. We don't know the mind at all. Many people die without ever knowing the mind. This is true across the whole world. That's why I must explain this science of awakening the mind. Whenever we truly awaken to the mind, there will be a sudden and profound realization. We will break free from being merely human, and we will know we are the pure, clear element that permeates the universe. And we will know with all our heart, we no longer suffer. We are free from all suffering. Nothing can bind us anymore, because none of it was ever truly us. Now let me summarize again. We are the mind. Layer 1 is the deepest level, the formless, clear, and pure life element. Layer 2 is the realm of fabrication, the tools. The mind uses these tools to communicate and function in this world. Layer 3 is the body, the robotic vessel, the container we reside in. But our time in it is short. The human vessel has its own lifespan, on average around 70-something years. But it could end this evening or tomorrow. Remember, we are incredibly fortunate to be in this human vessel. The chance to be born human is extraordinarily rare. Most beings are reborn as animals. And let me tell you why I say that. If this body dies right now, the vast majority, 99.999%, of minds immediately go on to seek a new vessel. And that vessel is typically an animal one. How many types of aquatic creatures do you think there are? How many types of land animals, underground creatures, winged beings? How many types of beings dwell in the air and even beyond, outside of space? And how many of each are there? Oh, infinity. They cannot be counted. Just the beings in the depths of the ocean alone are already uncountable. Can you picture how many grains of soil exist on this planet? It's infinite, isn't it? If you use 2 fingers to pick up a bit of earth, that tiny pinch represents all of humanity. The rest belongs to the realm of animals. This is why being born as a human is incredibly rare and difficult to attain. Do you understand now? I'm only speaking here in terms of coarse vessels. There are also more subtle vessels, but I won't go into that. This much is enough for now. The coarse vessels are humans and animals. There are infinite numbers of life streams, countless beings, inhabiting animal forms. The number of beings who take on human form is very small. If this human body dies, and if we still haven't realized the nature of the mind, if we have not awakened to it, we will have to go on dwelling in animal vessels in order to continue learning what we truly are. If we spend this life learning, but do not realize it within the mind, we will instantly lose this rare and precious opportunity. What does that mean? It means everything we've done becomes meaningless. Whether we are rich or poor, it becomes zero. Whether we are good or evil, it becomes zero. No matter how much merit or virtue we've accumulated, it becomes zero. Even if we own entire nations, or if we've spent our lives chasing after pieces of paper, no matter how many pieces we collect, it's all zero. Even if we've earned 8 million doctoral degrees, it amounts to nothing. Because all this knowledge we've acquired, our mind knows nothing of it. Do you understand this? Our consciousness, our mind, did not come to inhabit this vessel in order to become lost in all of that. The mind came for one purpose only, to realize that we are the pure element, the formless life essence that is incredibly clear and pure. Nothing else is truly us. If we understand this, it means we've come to see that the third layer, the physical shell, this robotic body, is not who we are. The second layer, which includes the tools we use, such as the voice, mental images, emotions, sensations, and memory, none of these are who we are either. The moment we see clearly that the voice that speaks is not our voice, the moment we see that voice is not voice, that image is not image, that emotion is not emotion, that knowing is not knowing, and even this act of seeing is not us seeing. When we see that nothing at all is us, then the layers of illusion, the second and third layers, will begin to collapse and fall away from the mind. Listen to my recordings often and observe, awaken inwardly. See how thoughts arise and think on their own. They imagine this and that, drifting endlessly. Then a feeling of pleasure appears and disappears on its own. Displeasure arises, then fades. Anger arises, then vanishes. Joy comes, then goes. Whatever emotion arises, it fades away by itself, and you begin to see that this knowing that is present, It knows by itself. It hears sounds on its own. It smells on its own. This is simple. Just see it clearly. It smells on its own. It tastes on its own. It sees on its own. So then, where is the self in all this? Let the mind answer. When the mind begins to perceive the activity of the second layer, because right now the first and second layers are still attached, the mind is still using its tools. But the moment the mind sees that these tools are functioning on their own, a realization arises. Ah, this isn't me. And the mind itself will respond, it's not me at all. That second layer will begin to fall away. The mind, the first layer, breaks free from the second. It detaches just like a spacecraft. A spacecraft has 3 stages. The outermost layer is the booster rocket, which launches the craft beyond the Earth's atmosphere. Once it escapes gravity, it detaches from the booster, boom, leaving only the second stage and the main capsule. The second stage contains reserve fuel and instruments to help propel the capsule toward its destination. Eventually, once that middle section is no longer needed, it too is jettisoned, boom, leaving only the small head capsule to float freely toward its target. When it arrives, it transforms into a technology hub designed solely to observe and learn from that environment. It no longer carries the booster. It no longer carries the body. All that remains is a refined tool used for understanding. Do you see the parallel? In the same way, when we awaken inwardly, when we, meaning our life essence, our mind, truly awaken, we begin to observe that this knowing is happening by itself. It hears, it sees, it smells on its own. So then, where is me in all of this? And this voice, does it speak on its own? Wait, are these thoughts thinking themselves? You must see this clearly. Hey, these are thoughts arising by themselves. Hey, this is joy appearing on its own. This is suffering happening by itself, and then fading away. Then suddenly, the question arises, why were we so foolishly drowning in suffering? The moment you can ask yourself that, the moment you can scold yourself, why was I so foolish to be trapped in that suffering? That's when insight begins. When you truly see, oh, that suffering wasn't even my suffering. It was merely a condition, a passing event. Suffering simply did its job. It was just a function. It was like a servant doing its duty. The emotion, the emotional officer, was doing its task. And when you see this, oh, you might exclaim, you fool, why did you ever cling to it? You'll feel the urge to scold yourself. Why was I so blind to suffer when that emotion was simply doing its job? When we no longer pay attention to these things because they are not truly us, then clarity begins to arise. When we truly understand and see that they are not us, in that very moment, something loosens. The mind releases the second layer. It breaks away from the first. That layer of delusion, the attachment we've carried for so long, mistaking the second layer for ourselves, finally falls away. Boom. Nothing remains that we can call me or mine. And then we come face to face with what we truly are, something that cannot speak. This essence is incredibly pure. It dissolves into the entire universe. It is a profoundly pure element, utterly refined, and completely free of suffering. It has no form. It is alive, yet formless. It is brilliantly clear. It has no thoughts, no voice, no images, no emotions, no sensations, no memory. It doesn't rely on any tools. This is the original element, the source. It does not depend on instruments. When this original element, our true life essence, finally sees that the second layer, the layer of tools, is not who we are. Oh, tears flow. We've relied on it for so long. It's like a child raised by guardians after birth. We don't know how we ended up here. We live in a jungle, raised by orangutans. We have no idea. We assume we're just like them. They feed us bananas. We eat. They hand us food. We chew and swallow. We leap. We run. Just like them. They can grip trees with their hands, and they climb with their feet too. But wait, why can't our feet hold onto the branches like theirs? Strange. Why can they do it, and we can't? We wonder. We try to act like them in every way, yet something doesn't add up. Why don't we look like them? Why are we different? Why are we not like our caretakers? We believe we're orangutans too. Until one day, we start to notice, hey, we're not orangutans. Who are we really? But we live among them. Surely we must be one of them, right? We're part of the same group, aren't we? But as we continue observing, we start to feel something's off. This isn't right. We're definitely not orangutans. If we were, we'd be just like them. Other animals don't even look alike. How could we be the same? Wait, maybe we're not one of them at all. Then, who are we? Who are we really? Can you picture this? If we start observing inwardly like this, we will see clearly that this body is definitely not who we are. Because soon, it dies, right? And when this body dies, the mind races off to find a new vessel and starts learning all over again. Eating and being eaten, hating and being hated, just like before, and then dying again. They kill us. We hate them. We kill them. They hate us. This cycle of destruction goes on and on. It's the endless cycle of birth, being born just to die again. And in the end, we gain nothing at all. So what happens when we become aquatic creatures, land animals, birds, underground dwellers? What do we actually gain from being animals? It's just a cycle of eating and being eaten, back and forth. Nothing is truly gained. Because animals lack wisdom. They don't have the cognitive capacity to understand the mind. Do you understand this? Their tools aren't sufficient. An animal's vessel doesn't have the necessary instruments to study the mind. The tools of mental fabrication, voice, images, emotions, sensations, memory, haven't evolved enough in animals to allow them to understand the nature of mind. And so, animals simply live to eat and be eaten. They communicate in a few primitive ways, and the rest is just instinct and survival. But human beings are the only species that has evolved to the point of being able to think with refined reasoning. And because of this developed capacity, the time is ripe. We're capable of being taught. I am here simply to point the way home. I have no other mission. I no longer have questions. Those in the Panyawimutty group who followed my teachings, some of them have listened to my recordings, and in less than 7 days, even less than a month, they awakened and realized their own pure essence. They realized that they are the mind itself, the life element, vastly clear, spacious, and pure. Many wept for 3 days. Some cried for 3 days and nights without stopping. Tears fell endlessly. Their hearts became light, unburdened, free from the human condition. The mind broke away from the second and third layers, yet the layers of mental fabrication and the physical body continued to function as usual. I myself came to realize this truth through inner awakening, by observing thoughts, mental images, emotions, sensations. I saw them until it became automatic, until it was obvious that they were functioning on their own. Remember this. If you truly wish to realize the nature of the mind, listen to my recordings every day, constantly. It's like wanting to learn how to sing a certain song. Say you desperately want to sing this song, but you've never heard it before. What do? You have to listen to it over and over again, right? And while you're listening, What happens? You naturally hum along in your mind. You think of the lyrics in your head. You start to sing along mentally as the song plays out loud. There's a voice inside, singing with it. Your mind becomes steady, awake, and attuned to that song. The more you sing along, the more familiar it becomes. The rhythm and melody start to flow naturally. Soon, even when the music isn't playing, you can still sing it. You hum it. The voice continues within. You reflect on the song. Your awareness stays with the act of singing. You grow more fluent, more graceful, until it becomes second nature. It doesn't take long before you can sing the whole song easily, right? It's just like that with the realization of mind. You need to listen to my recordings because I've distilled everything clearly for you. Keep listening, over and over. As you listen, observe. Keep listening to my recordings on the 𝙤𝙨 channel. These talks are all about the mind, the life element, non-birth, liberation from suffering, and true peace. This is the essence of peace. It's the universal core, a path toward the genuine end of suffering. Everyone can listen. Children, the elderly, people with disabilities, women, men, people of all genders and ages, every religion, every belief system, every race, every nation. Remember that. All of us have a mind, every single one of us, yet almost no one truly knows it. Isn't that tragic? We are pure essence, and yet we don't know that we are. Instead, we go searching for things that aren't even ours, and in the end, it all becomes meaningless. Remember this, every one of us can realize the mind. So come and listen to the teaching of awakening to the mind. Share my recordings with everyone in this world. Share them far and wide. Spread the word so everyone can hear them. Everyone on this earth should learn. Everyone must awaken to the mind. Everyone must be liberated from suffering completely. And everyone must come to deeply know we will not be born again. This is our final life. When we see that nothing at all is truly us, when we see that this body is not our body, the voice that speaks is not our voice, the mental images, the emotions, the sensations, the memories, none of it belongs to us, then we'll understand. These are merely tools for communication in the world of convention. There is nothing we need to fight over. When this is truly seen, we can live together in harmony and peace. There's no reason to hurt or destroy each other, no reason to fight over land or territory, no reason to kill, because nothing belongs to us. And in truth, nothing belongs to anyone. Everything is simply nature, given for use in this world of illusion. Understand this clearly, and then we'll only speak about the mind, about the end of suffering, about the end of birth. As you listen to my recordings, pay attention inwardly. The more you listen, the more you'll notice. Your mind stays focused on my voice. It stays attentive all the time. You'll hear my voice resonating within your mind, and you begin to reflect, to understand. Your mind becomes steady in that voice, awake in that voice, and naturally, it will begin to think and contemplate on its own. The thought function will do its job. The image function will create visualizations. The emotion function will generate feelings of joy, contentment, inspiration. You'll be uplifted all the time just by listening, and you won't suffer anymore. Remember this well. Then you will awaken to the mind. It won't take long. When you realize that the voice is not your voice, you no longer cling to it. You don't depend on it. Whatever it thinks, that's its business. Whatever it imagines, that's its business. You don't grasp it. You don't cling to it. You don't sink into it. If a joyful feeling arises, you see it and let it pass. If a painful feeling arises, you see it and let it pass. just like sitting in a car. You have one goal, to go forward, to reach London. You say to the car, "Dear car, take me to London." Then you just sit there, doing nothing. You simply remain present. Scenes on both sides, left and right, pass by. The right side might be filled with joy and pleasant stories. The left side might be full of suffering and painful events. If you're aware of what's on the right, it passes. If you're not aware of it, it still passes. The same with the left. If you see the painful side, it passes. If you don't, it still passes. Whether you're aware or unaware, it makes no difference. It all passes by. You gain nothing by knowing it. You lose nothing by not knowing it. Emotions, no matter how they appear, don't need to be stared at or fixated on. They arise on their own and then fade away on their own. The voice speaking appears and then disappears. Mental images appear and are now gone. All emotions are simply appearing now, and now they've vanished. Can you see that? Even the act of knowing, it's already knowing now, and then it's gone. Who can see this clearly? Where is the self in any of these experiences? There's no me in any of them. There's no me in the second layer of tools. There's no me in the third layer. This body, this mechanical vessel, isn't us. The second layer of tools isn't us either. They're just servants of what we truly are. And once we realize this, it becomes light and free, completely unentangled from anything. It's spacious, clear, and pure. It merges into everything. It is empty of all things. It is free from all things. And it remains that way, always. When I awakened to the mind, I saw every thought down to the finest split second, until one day it all shattered into pieces and dissolved. Something broke free. I saw that I was this radiant, transparent element that merges into the entire cosmos, and there was no me in that. There was only pure clarity, yet that was what I truly was. But it couldn't be spoken of as me. It had no language. It was completely silent. And yet, it was me. It knew everything, but there was no one there who knew. It was that pure. It was the original element, and it knew it would never be born again. What could it possibly take birth to? Even now, as I'm speaking, there's no sense of anyone speaking. Even now, as there are thoughts, there's no one thinking. Even though emotion is present, there's no one having emotion. Even this knowing, there's no one who knows. There are only natural processes performing their roles. Before this realization, they were just as they are. And even now, they remain the same. Everything is still just the same. But the difference is, before, we clung to it all and sank into it. Now, it doesn't cling anymore. It doesn't sink. Whatever arises on either side, joy or sorrow, it just passes through. Like a car that takes us to our destination, then that's the end of it. We didn't do anything. We simply sat still and watched the scenes come and go, appear and dissolve, again and again. And we understand now, none of it is us. We don't pull over to the right anymore. We don't pull over to the left. We don't stop anywhere. We let everything arise and pass. That is true and lasting liberation. This is how we guide our minds home. It's time to return home, all of us. We've been lost from home for so long that we've forgotten it. I am merely one who came to point the way, to offer wisdom to all of you. I offer this wisdom so that you may come to know your own minds. We all have minds, yet we don't know them. It's truly tragic. We have a home that is utterly free from suffering, and yet we ignore it. We keep seeking things outside, chasing suffering. The more we seek, the more we suffer. The more we get, the heavier the suffering becomes. But once we see the truth, that none of it is us, it becomes light. It becomes easy. We no longer suffer over anything. Now, I just live with this truth. Whatever appears, I just know it. Whatever arises, I just know it. Whatever dissolves, I just know it. Knowing and letting it go. And even this knowing isn't me knowing. It just keeps knowing on its own. It's automatic, always. It's spacious. It's free. It doesn't suffer. And it doesn't take birth. There is no moment of mind that takes birth anymore. If the world were to live under this shade of clarity, it would be peaceful. We would share wisdom with one another. Don't suffer. Suffering is only an emotion. See? It arose, and now it's gone. Don't dwell on it. Don't recreate it. Don't sink into it. We are not thought, and we are not emotion. We are the element of life that is clear, spacious, and pure, an original element. Do not get lost in grasping at any of these compounded formations. Let us end here. May all of you who open your hearts to listen come to know the mind, to awaken to the deathless element, and to realize the life element that is yours, swiftly and suddenly, all of you. If you're interested in these teachings on awakening, mind observation, and transcending suffering through wisdom, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your insights in the comments, provide productive feedback, and if you find this content valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel.